meeting with Brent Bodiford. He serves as the CFO of 360 Support Center. Super excited to talk with him today and get to know a little bit more about his role and how he serves the franchise owners as well as the 360 Clean team corporate office. So welcome, Brent. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about
I'm
you?
doing great. So can you tell us a little bit what it is that you do?
Yeah, of course. I'm the Chief Financial Officer at 360. I oversee all of our corporate finances, but more importantly, I oversee the billing services department in our office that assists with our franchise owners getting the invoices out, getting their money in, and we try to do as quick as possible and as transparent as possible.
Very cool. So what is that support as far as the accounting department? What is that? What do you provide to new franchise owners?
Yeah, so I always like to say when you're talking to prospective franchisees, I kind of just to dummy it down, view a business as wearing three different hats. You have a sales hat, you have an operating hat, and you have a financial hat. At 360, we like to take two of those hats off from day one being sales, one being the financial hat. And talking about the financial hat, what we do is we do all the invoicing and collecting in our office. And really what that means is when franchise owners secure customers, we invoice that customer through our accounting department and we collect that money through our accounting department. So this way the franchise owner can focus solely on operating their business and providing a stellar service to their customers. With that, we're sending out the invoices, we are collecting them, we're following up on payment status. And as we're doing this process, we're keeping the franchisee included on all correspondence, whether it's email, telephone, or what have you. And we're just trying to get payment as quick as possible for our franchise owners and get that payment to the franchise owner as quick as possible.
I'm sure that's majorly appreciated.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of other cleaning franchisors and cleaning companies similar to us. You know, early on when we were researching things, we saw that people weren't as transparent. People weren't as quick to get money in for the franchisees. And early on, we realized that cash flow is king in this business, especially for the franchise owners. The quicker that we bill out for services, the quicker that we get that money for the franchisee, and the quicker that we get that money to the franchisee, the overall healthier the business is as a whole.
Yeah, that's incredible. So how would you say that that support is consistently provided, as a franchise owner grows and they progress in their tenure throughout their ownership?
Yeah, I mean, with technology nowadays, we have so much automated. We have a rock star in our accounting department, in Carly Canole. She has been with us for 5, 6 years now. She knows this program like the back of her hand. I'd probably just go out on a limb and say she probably knows it better than I do in some cases. But yeah, like I said, with technology and things like that, we have a client payment portal that the franchisees can log in on. It's updated 24/7 all day, every day, and they can go in and actually see, the date the client paid, who the client was, what they paid for, and the amount they paid. And then from there, we kind of extend it out to what we call our financial reports, and that's basically a check breakdown, and it has all those housed in there. We upload those, twice a month at minimum for franchise owners, but for our higher performing folks, we actually help them out and we pay them weekly. Like I said earlier, cash flow is king, and especially when you get to a tier where you're doing business in a high dollar amounts. You got supply costs, employee costs, and obviously we want our guys to pay themselves. So the ones that qualify for that, the higher tier the higher grossing franchise owners, we like to get that money out weekly. So every Thursday, those folks are getting money in their bank accounts, and we like to, I kind of like to compare sometimes because I know we're better than most. Is I've seen some companies, they won't pay their franchisees until the month of service is complete. Some of our people are getting money in their accounts prior to the month of service. So I can't harp on it enough. We know cash flow is king. And like I said earlier, the quicker we can get that money in and out to the franchisee, the better for everybody.
Right. I mean, it's definitely a better process for sure when it comes to franchise owning. I'm sure when you look at commercial industry, you look at different companies to go with, and I'm sure seeing something that we have that set up to where it is a lot more in-house handled and they're giving you that way of doing things versus having to come up with something on your own. I'm sure it helps a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big to do, especially when your business gets rocking and rolling to some levels that our franchisees are at. If it weren't for us doing this on behalf of the franchisee, they would have to go out and hire somebody and pay them a salary to do this, chase it, get the invoices out and ensure accuracy. But with our accounting department with 360, that's all in house, and we handle that for them.
That's awesome. So you definitely would think that that's what sets 360 apart from
Oh yeah.
competitors in the industry.
I think 1,000%, not only the invoicing collecting, but also just the speed and the consistency we have with getting, the money in, the money out. Can't harp on enough about, you know, we pay out regardless twice a month, which is another thing that sets us apart. Some companies are doing the, 1 month payouts after the month of service, but we pay out during the month of service and at the end of the month. So some folks are getting paid for, money that are services that haven't even been started yet, or during the month of service. And then, like I said earlier, for those higher tier franchisees, those guys and girls are getting paid every Thursday, which we've gotten great feedback from those folks from that, because
I bet.
you know it's pretty good deal. But it's something that we've built out and that we can handle, and it's something that we can continue to handle. If in a perfect world we have everybody on the getting paid every Thursday, but we to push folks to get to a certain level, we do that as an incentive, and it's definitely helped out.
Absolutely. Sometimes those practices are necessary. So it's cool to hear that you put a lot of thought into that.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, we've developed it pretty well
is
over the years.
this something that you particularly in your role or just being with the company now over 15 years, right?
I think 12, 13.
So, okay, so you're,
Start losing
yeah,
count.
it feels like it's been longer.
Yeah, yeah.
There's something, since you've been with the company, there's something that sticks out to you that you enjoy the most, maybe now or compared to the beginning, or just kind of the way it's transpired now. Is there something
I
that
will
really stands
say, outside of financials, the most gratifying thing is watching a franchisee come in from its inception to growing their business. A lot of what I like to see is a lot of folks come in as a part-time owner. They have their full-time gig that they do, that pays the bills for the time being. But franchisees that come in with a full-time job, and then they graduate to, they see that, hey, this business can make some money, and then you see the gradual effect of, hey, I'm doing this part-time, then however long it takes, they replace their salary that they're currently at with their full-time job, and they're like, all right, well, I'm gonna jump out on a limb, and I'm gonna do this full time. And then when they take it from there, when they can focus their efforts full time and just grow the business to, really the sky's the limit. Seeing that over the years has been very gratifying.
It is a really cool thing to see come across sometimes, and whether it be meetings or our group chats, we'll see so and so's gone full time. They've left their day job, and it is really cool to see them put
Yeah,
that.
it's gratifying when they send those texts, but also you get a little nervous because you're like, all right, we gotta make sure this person's taken care of. They're jumping out on a limb. Let's make sure that we do what we got to do to make sure they're taken care of. So it's good stuff though.
Absolutely. Well, I know they appreciate you. You're the money man, so I know that they love to see you come in. So
Yeah, when they see my name, they usually perk up a little bit because it typically has to do with finances. I try to keep it all good news, but Carly does a great job in our department as well with what she does, and staying on top of people, staying on top of customers, making sure invoices are getting recorded properly and timely. That's the biggest thing. But yeah, it's been a fun journey so far, and can't wait to have plenty more franchisees to send some money to.
glad to hear it. Maybe I'll get on that side one day.
Yeah, come on over.
Well, thank you so much, Brent. It was so great to talk to you, and I look
Yeah,
forward to connecting again soon.
yeah, appreciate it.